In this video, I'll show you the easiest way to upload your Excel dashboard to GitHub and present it like a professional. We'll use the Velora dashboard from the previous video as our example. It's a clean, single-sheet Excel dashboard, so today we can focus entirely on uploading it to GitHub and presenting it professionally. The first step is to prepare the files we're going to upload. I've created a folder on my desktop containing the Excel dashboard itself, a screenshot of the final design, the original dashboard sketch, and a preview of the source data. I've also given each file a clear and consistent name, using hyphens instead of spaces, which keeps the project cleaner and easier to organize on GitHub. Once you've created your account and signed in, you'll arrive at the GitHub homepage. From here, we can start creating our project. Now, let's create the repository that will contain our project. A repository is simply the online folder that contains all the files of a project. If this is your first GitHub project, you may also see the Create Repository button here. But the standard way is to click the plus icon in the top right corner and select New Repository. First, enter a name for the project. I intentionally add spaces here, and GitHub lets us know that it will automatically replace them with hyphens, but I'll add them myself to keep the name clean and consistent. Next, we can add a short description. I'll write Interactive Excel Dashboard for the fictional company Velora. Keep the repository public so other people can view the project. You can choose private instead if you do not want it to be visible. Then enable Add README, which creates the main page where we'll present the project, add images, and include useful information and links. Leave the remaining options unchanged and click Create Repository. And here we are. Our repository has been created with its name, description, and initial README file already in place. Next, let's upload the files we prepared. Click Add File, then Upload Files, and simply drag and drop them into this area. Once they appear, click Commit Changes. And that's it. All our project files are now uploaded, together with the README we created earlier. Now we come to the most important part of the project, the README file. This is usually the first thing visitors see, so it gives us the perfect opportunity to present the dashboard, explain what the project contains, and guide them through it in the way we choose. To edit it, click the pencil icon here. Inside the editor, we have two tabs, Edit and Preview. In the Edit tab, we write the content using Markdown, which is a simple formatting syntax used by GitHub. The Preview tab shows us exactly how the README will appear to visitors. The content may look quite different between the two tabs, so let me show you a quick example. Let's start with headings. One hash symbol followed by a space creates the main heading. Two hash symbols create a level 2 heading, and 3 create a smaller subheading. The same pattern continues up to 6 heading levels. Any text without these symbols is displayed as a normal paragraph. Right now, the difference is not very clear because we are still in the Edit tab and can only see the Markdown syntax. But when we switch to Preview, GitHub formats each heading according to its level, and the hierarchy becomes immediately visible. The next Markdown feature is very simple. If we place text between 2 asterisks on each side, it appears in bold. If we use only 1 asterisk on each side, it appears in italics. And we can see the result in Preview. Profit appears in bold, while Velora appears in italics. We can also create bullet points by adding a hyphen and a space before each line. In Preview, GitHub automatically formats them as a clean bullet list. Next, if we place text between backticks, GitHub displays it as inline code, using a different font and background. This can be useful for file names, formulas, or commands. We can also start a line with the greater than symbol to create a block quote. This is useful for highlighting an important note, tip, or additional information. With so many Markdown options, it can be difficult to remember what each one does. So I created a free PDF guide with the most useful Markdown formatting for GitHub READMEs. For every example, you can see the Markdown code on the left and the final result on the right, making it much easier to understand and use. You can download the PDF for free using the link in the description. We can even create a table by separating each column with pipe symbols. On the next line, we add hyphens to define the table structure. And when we switch to Preview, GitHub displays everything as a clean formatted table. Next, we can create a link to any file in our project. The text inside the square brackets is what visitors will see, while the file path inside the parentheses tells GitHub what to open. In this example, the link will say, "Click here to go to dashboard," and clicking it will lead us to where our workbook is located inside our repository. We'll test it in just a few moments. A very similar structure is used to display an image. We follow the same logic, but add an exclamation mark at the beginning. Inside the parentheses, we add the file name or path of the image. Inside the square brackets, we add alternative text, which briefly describes the image. This text does not normally appear when the image loads correctly, but it is useful for accessibility and will appear if the image cannot be displayed. And when we switch to preview, GitHub displays the image directly inside the README. And let's also check the link we discussed a few moments ago. You can see the display text, and when we click the link, it leads us to the path we inserted. The workbook does not appear automatically, but it can still be downloaded. Using the Markdown features we just covered, I created the complete README for this project. It follows a clear structure, starting with the final dashboard preview, followed by a short project overview, the source data and sketch, the main dashboard features, the files included, instructions for using the workbook, and finally the tools and skills demonstrated. Some sections, such as the dashboard sketch, are completely optional. I included them because they were already part of this project, but you can remove, replace, or add sections depending on what you want to present. Creating a complete README from scratch can feel overwhelming, so I've included a ready-to-use template together with the PDF guide in the same zip file. It gives you a clear starting point that you can adapt with your own content and any of the Markdown options we covered earlier. Once we've checked the README in preview and we're happy with the result, click Commit Changes and then confirm once again. And that's it. Our README is now saved. Let's visit our profile and see how the project appears. Since this is currently our only repository, it already appears near the top. When we open it, we are taken to the repository page, where the README immediately presents the project to the visitor. And now you can see why this file is such an important part of the repository. As a final touch, click the gear icon in the About section and add a few relevant topics, such as Excel, Excel Dashboard, data, and data visualization. These topics help describe and organize the project more clearly. Finally, return to your profile and use Customize Your Pins to pin the repository. This becomes especially useful once you have more projects because it allows you to choose which ones visitors see first. And as you can see, the project now appears under the Pinned section. And if you're curious to see how the Velora dashboard was built from simple raw data, click the video that just appeared on your screen. It takes you through the full process, step by step, from the original dataset to the final interactive dashboard.